I'm MJ Waddell. Welcome to Balance's 12-minute mini yoga sessions. So I'm going to kick it off. You're going to have different teachers all through this next, through the 15th. So about 12 days of just buckling down on some of the more common yoga poses. So I'm going to start it off today with talking about setting an intention. So when I first went to yoga classes, when I first started practicing 25 years ago, and the yoga teacher would say, okay, let's take time everyone now to set an intention. Well, first of all, I didn't even know what she meant, and I was thinking in my mind, what? I just paid money and now you want me to think about an intention? I want you to tell me what to do, how to move, how to breathe, and what I should be thinking and feeling. So eventually, as I, progressed in my yoga practice, I understood the importance of setting an intention. So really, you hear yoga teachers talk about anchoring onto the breath, connecting with the breath, connecting with your body. This is another way to stay connected to your practice. The mind has a way of just moving here, moving to the past, moving to the future, moving around all the time, so you become less focused. So really setting an intention is a beautiful way to really anchor yourself and have a purpose for why you're there. Why? And ask yourself this simple question. Why did I come to yoga practice today? Why did I roll out my mat? What do I need a little bit more of? Or perhaps a little bit less of. So in the beginning for me, and it's perfectly fine. Mine was just to get a sweat on, to work out and go, oh, I'm getting ripped, I'm getting strong. It was very ego-driven when I first started my yoga practice. And there are still days where, my intention is I just need to sweat and move and breathe. And those intentions are completely valid. So any of your intentions are valid. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about how do you even start? How do you even begin to think of an intention? Well, I like to keep it simple. Simply is one word. There are so many words you can choose to set your intention on, set your focus on. So we'll get to that in just a second. And also to become specific. It's sometimes not easy to be specific about what you want or what your desires are because there's so much. So, and it's hard to pin it down. And that's okay too. So here's a few different words, and we're going to practice this after we talk about it for a few more minutes. There's a few words that maybe you could think about. For me, a lot of times the word that comes up for me is faith. Just having faith. Faith. I can just have faith that I know I can start my practice, move through my practice with faith that I know I'm going to get the most out of it. So trust. Trust is another word I go to a lot. Right now, especially in the world situation, trust that the universe has our back. Trust that everything's going to be okay. Trust. There's so much uncertainty. So that is something, if I'm feeling uncertain or fearful, so I take those feelings and I go to the opposite and I invite trust in. Openness is another one. Can I be open? Just some words like courage, growth, compassion, tenderness, patience. Patience is a big word for me. Patience is what I invite into my practice quite often. And then as I invite that into my practice, I can take that same intention off my mat and practice patience. And I know these days we are all practicing patience. And acceptance is another word that's also been coming up for me. So here's just again some few words you can think about when setting an intention. Just keep it very simple. Faith, freedom, trust, patience, courage, tenderness, acceptance, and there could be any so many other words that you could think of. Also, sometimes a phrase that works for you, just let it go is a good phrase. So you can cater it and custom it to what you feel you're needing at the time. So also with an intention, try not to be attached to the outcome. Just invite it in. It might not sit there, it might not be solid in the beginning, but over and over again you can invite that word or that phrase in. So, starting my practice, I just use this simple phrase. I'd like to invite more of blank into my life. I'd like to invite more of, for me right now, it's trust. So I say I'd like to invite into my practice trust. I'd like to invite with each and every breath trust. Right? And then I can take that one word, trust, and if I come to a sequence or a posture that might be a little bit challenging, right? I just breathe in again that intention of trust. Trust that maybe it's the first time I'm trying a new inversion. Trust that I know that I can proceed, and trust my intuition, my body, and my wisdom to move into that practice. Then you can take that same word, right? I'd like to invite more trust into my life, And then you sit with it and you go, well, how would that feel? How would that feel to be trusting? First on your mat, then off your mat. What would it look like? So envisioning how you would feel emotionally, what you would look like, what would be the surroundings if you were more trustworthy. So envisioning that. So those are my tips and I don't like to call them tricks, but this is how I've evolved into setting an intention. And sometimes I come to my mat and I don't have an intention. It just is, I know I'm going to feel better, so I'm rolling out my mat and I know I'm going to feel better at the end. And sometimes an intention arises, and that's a great thing. Or sometimes your teacher may suggest a certain theme, so you can bring your attention and intention into that. So let's give this a go. So I'd like you to find a comfortable seat. If you're sitting in a chair or lying in bed or wherever you are, or sitting at your desk, go ahead and just find a nice, tall, comfortable seat. Just so your spine is erect. You can go ahead and gently close your eyes or gaze down the tip of your nose. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and a nice long sigh out through your mouth. Do that again, please. Draw a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. So take a moment, and I'll offer some of these words that might resonate with you. And either choose your own word or phrase, or choose one of the words that I'm offering you now. Trust, freedom, truth, love, openness, courage, growth, compassion, tenderness, patience, acceptance. Take a moment to land on one of those words, and then just gently say to yourself, I'd like to invite more, whatever the word is, into my next breath. I'd like to invite more, whatever your word is, into my next breath. Say that again silently, mentally to yourself. Just 2 more times. And then as you feel yourself breathing in that specific word, notice if it changes, first of all, your breath. Notice whatever change happens physically. Notice whatever shift happens mentally. I'd like to invite more into my next breath. And when your mind jumps away or gets distracted, as it will, over and over again, you come back to that one phrase or just that one word. Breathe in that word, breathe in that phrase. Just with a calm mind, calm breath. It's as if you're infusing that word or that intention throughout your entire body. So you know how it feels. And you can take that with you off your mat as well. Take 3 more breaths again, breathing into that word, that intention. And then you can slowly open your eyes and just take a moment to notice how that made you change mentally, physically, the awareness. So if you chose one word, hopefully that word's gonna pop up over and over again all throughout your day. So it's different than setting a resolution. Intention is more about your desire. It's not really a goal, it's more of what you want to modify your life to be, the changes you want to see in your life.